Today we are going to discuss about the sexual reproduction in human. For that, first we should know what is sexual reproduction. Sexual reproduction is the fusion of the two gametes, that is the male and female gametes, that is the sperm and the egg will get fused to form the diploid zygote, and this process is known as fertilization. And the organs of this reproductive system is divided into two types. They are the primary sex organs and secondary sex organs. The primary sex organs are, in male it is testes and in female it is ovaries. And the secondary sex organs are, in male vas deferens, epididymis, seminal vesicle, prostate gland and penis. These are the secondary sex organs which are found in male. And in female, fallopian tubes, uterus, cervix and vagina. These are the secondary sex organs which are present in female. Next we can see the functions of the secondary sex organs of male and female. So the functions are, it helps in the process of ovulation. Ovulation means releasing of the matured egg from ovary. That is, egg will be present inside the ovary. From that ovary, this matured egg will get released. That process is the ovulation. Next is the fertilization. So fertilization is the fusion of the sperm and egg. For that, these secondary sex organs are helping. Then the division of the fertilized egg up to the formation of embryo. So fertilized egg means after when the sperm fused with the egg, and that egg we will call it as the fertilized egg. Then that fertilized egg will start to divide and it will form the embryo. For that, these secondary sex organs are helping, and it is helping in pregnancy and development of fetus. Fetus means the baby which is present inside the uterus. So for the development that fetus, this secondary sex organs is helping. Then for childbirth, these are all the functions of the secondary sex organs. Next we can see the structure of the primary sex organs, that is the testes and the ovaries. Structure of testes. These testes are two in number, and these are the reproductive glands of male, and these are oval shaped organs, and it is present outside the abdominal cavity in a sac-like structure called the scrotum. So that sac-like structure is called the scrotum, and the testis is covered with a layer of fibrous tissues, and that layer is called the tunica albuginea. And this layer has so many foldings, and that foldings are called the septa. These foldings divide the testis into so many lobules, and these lobules contains seminiferous tubules, Sertoli cells and the Leydig cells. These seminiferous tubules, Sertoli cells and the Leydig cells are present inside these lobules. And the function of these seminiferous tubules is the spermatogenesis will takes place in the seminiferous tubules. And the Sertoli cells, these are the supporting cells which will provide nutrients to the developing sperms. And the Leydig cells, these Leydig cells are the polyhedral shape, and it will lie between the seminiferous tubules, and it will secrete the testosterone. And these Leydig cells will initiate the process of spermatogenesis. Female reproductive organ, that is the ovary. So these ovaries are located on either side of the lower abdomen, and it is composed of two almond shaped bodies. So these ovaries are two in number, and its shape is almond shape, and it lies near the lateral end of the fallopian tube. Each ovary is a compact structure, and this ovaries consists of the outer cortex and the inner medulla. So the outer layer is called the cortex and the inner is called the medulla. And this cortex is made up of the network of connective tissues called the stroma. Their connective tissues are called the stroma, and these ovaries are lined by the germinal epithelium. The ovum in the ovary was surrounded by the epithelial cells. That is, the ovum is the egg. Egg will be present inside the ovary, and that egg was surrounded by the epithelial cells, and that epithelial cells are called the granulosa cells. So here this egg and the epithelial cells, everything together form the primary follicle. Then when the egg starts to grow, the follicle size also enlarges. That is, the egg will be present inside that follicle. So when the egg starts to grow, the follicle size enlarges and the space between the egg and the follicles will be filled with the fluid. And here this everything, that is the egg, the follicles and the fluid, everything together totally we will call it as the Graafian follicle. This is the structure of the ovary. So now we saw the structure of testis and also the structure of ovary, that is the male and the female reproductive organ. Next, we can see about the sperm and the egg. So, the sperm and the egg are together called as the gametes. So, the formation of the sperm and egg is called the gametogenesis and it involves spermatogenesis. Spermatogenesis is the formation of spermatozoa or sperm. So, spermatozoa is also known as the sperm. And oogenesis, which is the formation of the ova or the egg. So formation of the sperm is called the spermatogenesis and the formation of the egg is called the oogenesis. Next, we can see the structure of the sperm. So the sperm contains four main parts, that is the head, neck, middle piece and the tail. So first is the head, which is elongated and it is formed by the condensation of nucleus. And the anterior portion of this head contains a cap-like structure which is called the acrosome. And this acrosome portion contains the enzyme called hyaluronidase. And this enzyme helps the sperm to enter into the ovum, that is the egg. So the sperm has to enter into the egg. For that, this enzyme hyaluronidase is helping. And next part is the neck. This neck will connect the head and the middle piece. And this neck portion consists of two centrioles. Next to the neck, there is the middle piece. And this middle piece contains mitochondria. And we know that this mitochondria is the powerhouse of the energy. And this mitochondria will provide energy for the movement of the tail. So next to middle piece, it contains the tail. And this tail brings motility of the sperm. So this tail helps the sperm to move. So the next is the structure of human ovum. So ovum is the egg. This egg is spherical in shape. This egg is spherical in shape and it is free of yolk. That is, the yolk will be almost absent in this egg. And it contains cytoplasm and nucleus. The nucleus will be present at one end of the egg and it will not present at the center. It will present at the one end of the egg. And this egg is surrounded by three membranes. That is plasma membrane, which is also known as the vitelline membrane. And this plasma membrane will be present at the center and this membrane is will form the surface layer of the egg or the ovum. So the surface layer of the egg is that membrane is called the plasma membrane. And inside this plasma membrane it contains the inner thin zona pellucida. Inner thin zona pellucida. And outside this plasma membrane it contains outer thick corona radiata. Outer thick corona radiata. And the space between the zona pellucida and the membrane which covers the surface layer of the egg. So what is the membrane which covers the surface layer of the egg? The membrane which covers the surface layer of the egg is called the vitelline membrane or the plasma membrane. So the space between the zona pellucida and the vitelline membrane is called as the perivitelline space. So this is the structure of the ovum. So we saw the structure of the sperm and also the structure of the ovum. Next, we can see the number of eggs and the sperm in human. So 7 million primordial follicles will be present at the newly born female child. And this number was reduced to 60,000 to 70,000 during the reproductive period or the puberty time. And the women will ovulate only 300 to 400 eggs during her lifetime. On the other hand, men will produce over 500 billion sperms in their lifetime. Next is the puberty. Puberty is the stage in which the reproductive system of both the male and female will become functional, and also there will be an increase in the secretion of the sex hormones. And the boys will attain puberty at the age of 13 to 14 years. This is due to the increase in the secretion of the testosterone in testes. And the girls will attain puberty at the age of 11 to 13 years. This is happening due to the secretion of the hormones like estrogen and progesterone in the ovary. And the secretion of both the male and female hormones are controlled by the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone. This is the sexual reproduction in human.